Hey everyone, I'm Melissa and this is Fasting as a Family. And today we're talking about Mealtime Madness. I like to joke that at my house it's dinner and a show 3 times daily. So today I thought that we could sit down and talk about managing that chaos at the dinner table. And since it's a beautiful and sunny day, I thought maybe we could go outside to do this video. I'd love to live in a fantasy world where my children always happily sat down at the table and no one ever spilled milk on her sister's head and no one ever cried about my homemade bacon and cheddar polenta. But I live in the real world where I expect you probably live too, which means that sometimes things go about as well as we expect them to go, and sometimes they go even worse. I find that it's easier to talk more kindly and be more patient with my family when I've just finished speaking to God. So I think that it's always important that we start these chaotic times like mealtime by talking to God first. The second thing that we do in our family is we have a no screaming at the table rule. Now, unless it's the toddler having a bad day, people aren't usually throwing fits at the table. It's more about being excited and trying to make themselves heard in a big family. And sometimes they get too excited. When that happens, I look at that person and I call them out on it. Veronica, are you using your inside voice? You might think that your teenagers are too old to be talked to like that, but let me tell you, nothing gets a snippy teenager's attention like being talked to like a kindergartner. Oh, of course, Elijah. I remembered how old you are. You were just being so childish. I had a flashback to when you were 8. Still no screaming at the table. Now, my last piece of advice is really the key piece of advice, and that is to make dinner time a priority. Really do everything that you can to schedule as many meal times together as possible. I know that in my family, and I have a very large family, we schedule our entire family lives around that dinner hour together. And it's not easy, but it can be done. I think one of our most important roles as parents is to remember that old adage that Christ is the unseen guest at every meal and to act like it, so that we can teach our children not only how to live, but how to eat and how to pray and how to be a family. One of the things that I know works for me as a mother is I keep the icon of Christ visible from where I'm sitting at the dinner table, so that when I find myself getting overwhelmed by the chaos of my family, that I remember that He's the unseen guest and that I can put my attention and focus on Him. And I try to remember that He's present everywhere and fills all things, even the crazy moments at my dinner table. That's it for this episode of Fasting as a Family. Join me next time when we talk about picky eaters and getting kids to cook. Until then, I'm Melissa, and this is Fasting as a Family.